All right, guys, welcome back to class two. This is class two because the first class was basically a kickoff session. I didn't really discuss much there other than just the Java installation. You guys can take a look into the Java installation video and somebody who didn't join earlier, so they can do it. And also, I have enabled you guys with first week of video materials, which was right here. Java working with variables, arrays, and basically some var args, what is a class and object. So along with each and every one of them, I have also given you guys assignments in this training. Nothing is, I mean, there are theory obviously, but along with theory, you have ample amount of assignments which you have to complete. If you don't do that, there is nothing, no progress you can make. To be very true, you cannot escape out of it. So you can see that there is an assignment for every video, and there are 10 assignments over here for video number 2. If you scroll down, there is a task that you need to complete. All right. Many of the stuff over here, for example, compute the area of a polygon. The area of a polygon can be computed using this particular formula. If you ask me, do I need to really learn this to perform automation? You won't actually need it. However, what I'm trying to get in with you is that you need to start doing your research, right? Whenever you are stuck, whenever you are saying something that you don't know earlier, you cannot just sit tight and think that, okay, I will learn it later on. It's not like that. I mean, you need to do your research immediately and figure it out. How can you perform this formula using Java? Okay, it's a very, very simple formula to be implemented by Java. Actually, you just have to deal with a library called math library, and you should be able to, create a formula like this. Don't get scared. That's my first that's the first myth I want to break, because I see there are so many functional QAs. They are literally struggling, to get started with a job in automation. The main reason for that is they are scared of programming. I don't want that to happen. And that's my bottom line, right? Okay. So what we will do today, as I said earlier, that I will be releasing every week three videos, three videos plus assignments. In this whole program, we have more than, I mean, nearly 300 assignments altogether. So three videos plus assignments and assessments that you need to complete for each and every week. In the live class, we will be doing a revision, okay? Live summary class. This class is never your primary class. Please keep that in mind. Don't come to the class thinking that you're learning something new. You're not learning something new. You've learned it. You got stuck. You can see some of them already tried that. This is how you should do it. Okay. You see, this is July batch. People are asking questions, right? People are asking questions. Tamina, she is a student, but she was able to answer Peter's question. I need this. I need this from you, your collaboration. We are all here to learn, right? So you see, Tamina replied back to him. She's a student, but she knew this exact problem, and she was able to reply. I want this to happen. It's a community that we are trying to build. Okay. So please ask questions here. If your questions are not answered, book a call with Gagan, okay? And also you have my calendar. Book a call with me, and I can help you. So do that. All right. So that's with that. Let's go and start looking at the actual revisions. Before I do anything, before I actually start the revision part, I would like to actually quickly go through everyone over here in the list to understand how was your first week of learning. what do you think should be improved, or is there any roadblocks that you're facing from my side that I can fix? Let's go with May. Hi, May. Can you just give me your experience in the first week regarding watching the videos and assignments? What do you think? May, can you hear me? If you're talking in mute. I'm not able to hear you. Okay. Let's go to Adi. Hi, Adi. How was your experience with first week?
All right. To be honest, it's I don't have much time. I've been struggling with the time to sort things out myself. So it's not been easy for me, but I managed to watch all the videos and I do I tried to do the examples as you are doing it. I opened my Eclipse and I could figure those things out. But when it comes to my assignments, I couldn't be able to finish it up. I'm struggling with the time, but I think I will be much more flexible in as time goes by. But as I'm talking to you,
Right.
my job is quite demanding and I don't have much time. I'm in the healthcare sector. So they call me every back and then to come to the work. So I'm struggling for now, to be honest with you, but I hope I will be able to meet up as time goes by.
Okay. When you watch the video, what did you feel? Are you able to do whatever I'm doing in my screen? Are you able to do it? And are you able to understand that why I'm doing it?
Yes, I do understand most part of it, but some parts I couldn't figure it out. So I thought probably today, if you have to work on it, so maybe I could help myself with those parts that is a bit shadow for me.
Perfect. No problem at all. We'll go over it. Absolutely. Thank you. Let's go to May. Hi, May. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Hi,
Yeah.
Sovik.
Hi, go on. So what do you think? I mean, how was your first week assignments and the video? What do you
Like
think?
it was like what I did. I don't know. I didn't go like it with the assignments themselves, but what I did, I was following you when I'm watching your videos, and I do the same things that you do. Like I create the classes, I do the whatever like you're doing in that. But I didn't know like there is assignments that I should like. There's some sort of like problems that I need to solve. I didn't do that. Maybe I will have a look at that today.
Okay.
But
And
apart from that, like I follow, like I'm doing, like I even attached my assignments to the to the drive, like whatever I practiced, I put there. So.
and how do you like the explanations?
Yeah, it was really great. Like I feel like you give lots of information, and it's really very very good. Uh, like the information that you provide us makes sense. Like it's really makes sense to me because I did the previously Java course like during my MSc and during my BSc honors, and I feel this one even was more like give more information on what I have done so far.
Perfect. Thank you. That's great.
Thanks.
Andre, what about you? How are things with you? Andre?
Yep, sorry, I
Yeah,
was on mute.
no problem. Go on.
Hi. Yeah, I watched all the videos. My main concern or problem, it was that for that example that you told us with the Polygon assignment,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I should go on a line and like learn stuff that it was not covered in the videos, if that makes sense. Because I thought you told us like, I don't know, we shouldn't, when you said don't waste your time with stuff, I guess you meant don't go online and spend hours trying to find
So, for
the
example,
solution to something.
I
But
understand. For example,
I got it in the end after you messaged me and I messaged you back.
yeah, exactly. So this is a research that you are doing, that
Yeah.
how do I write a formula, right? So
Yeah.
definitely I wanted that to happen, which is why I
Yeah,
gave
but
that assignment to you.
for example, when I've done the assignment with the area and the perimeter of the circle,
Yeah.
I knew how to translate that formula into code. But then when I got stuck with the Polygon just because of that tangent function, and I was like, then I tried to see if I tried not to use the math.10, and then I looked on the internet, okay, what's the formula for tangent? And then I got to sinus and cosinus, and I've studied it in high school, but I was like, no, I think this is too much, and then I just used the math.10.
Exactly, math.10 is what I wanted to use. That's it.
Yeah. And I've done the assessments as well, but I even wrote in chat, I don't know if it should be like this, but I could only do it once. I mean, it was quite all right. I mean, I didn't mess that many questions, but I thought we would be able to do it like multiple times or something like that.
You're not able to do it?
No, it says it's forbidden. At least for me, after I've done it the first time, then I tried to do it again, and it says forbidden.
Did you try to refresh your? Did you try to clear your cache and try it?
It says you have already taken this test, and then it says forbidden. I didn't try to clear the cache though.
Try with clearing the cache and then try it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
and the explanations are okay.
Yes, I just wanted to say that I don't know if, like, for example, in the last video, you are talking, I think, about the last of the loops, the four type of loops, and at some point you are explaining it, and then it just cuts off and it jumps to something else. I don't know if that was like the whole explanation on that subject, or
okay. Let me.
It's like in the beginning of video 4. I think.
Let me look into that part, and anyway, I will cover it today. So I hope that will.
I just wanted to let you know.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. No problem at all. All right, let's move on to Anila. Hi, Anila. How are things with you?
Hello. Yeah, I attended all the videos, and the explanation was really good. I faced one issue that I think videos are quite lengthy and there are a lot of breaks in between them. I think that from online classes, it's because of that. So my suggestion would be, can we have these videos on YouTube so we can speed up if we know some topic already and we want to speed up the lecture, so we can move forward with the next one that we want to know more about and want to.
The point with me is that these videos are private videos. I cannot put it in the YouTube. If I do it, then there is no point for me to make the class happen. And also in the private, if I in a YouTube video, there is something called as private videos. In the private videos, at a time, only certain people can watch the private videos. But we have like hundreds of students, right, who are watching this video, so I cannot really make it private. Now, if you are saying that you want to, I mean, you're basically trying to say that the videos are lengthy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And I think there were so many breaks in between. I think people were asking questions about topics because it was from online session.
Yeah, that is an online session for sure. Yes, those are all online sessions that I have taken earlier, which I have trimmed it down. Only the things which are, so the questions that the students were asking, I thought not to trim it down because like for some people it could be a repetitive, but for some person it will be a relevant question. And that is the reason why I didn't trim it down. I can trim it down, but I kept it like it because I believe that those questions were making sense at that point of time. So I kept it like that.
Because at some point we couldn't see even questions where they were asking and you just replied them. So we didn't know that what's happening here.
Okay. Okay, I will think about it, Anila. Probably have to do some trimming further down. In case if you are seeing something more like that, can you just note it down and just let me know? Probably I'll go back to it and then I'll trim it down.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And assignments were really good, and it actually refreshes my concept, and I went through them and practiced a lot. So yeah, assignments are really good.
Awesome, thank you. Great, awesome. All right, let's go to Ashwin. Hi, Ashwin. How are things with you?
Hi, Shobek. The assignments were pretty good. I mean, it was good to go back to basics. I mean, I was a computer science student.
Yeah.
And sort of polishing all the basics was really good, and I actually found it interesting this time around.
Great.
And I mean, yeah, the assignments were done, and I actually could do some research on my own, and I found that good.
Awesome.
That was good, actually. Yeah.
Great.
Thanks.
Awesome. Let's go to Leva. Hi, Leva. How are things with you?
Hello, hi. Yeah, it was quite fun for me. I was able to watch all the videos and finish the assignments. As well, yes, some parts are, let's say, I skip them over a little bit or try to speed it up because there are like silence pauses for quite some time, or yeah, some explanations, like for me, since I'm already familiar with the topic, they maybe take too long, but I understand that if you are new to this, then it's necessary. Just maybe another note, in the assessments, I found some of the definitions and questions like quite confusing. I would have to think about what is asked from me.
Okay. And did you try to solve it? And what was your experience there?
Yeah, with the assessments, I did them all, but in one of them, I misunderstood, let's say, a batch of questions because of their formulation. But maybe it's just me, I'm not sure.
Okay, all right. If you just can point it out, let me see. I mean, probably we have given it for the purpose to make
Yeah.
it confusing, but okay. Let's go to Helen. Hi, Helen. How are things with you?
Hello.
Yeah, hi. I can hear you now. Go on.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I like the assignments mostly. They are very helpful.
Okay.
And the videos are very nice, especially for beginners. For me, I know most of them.
Okay.
But if I were a beginner, that was a great explanation.
Good.
And
Okay.
I like I like everything. And to give some idea about the videos, it will be good if there was no interaction with the students, like in some parts in the video you ask some students and they will answer something like that. But since
Yeah, these videos that you're watching, probably in the class or the first week or two, you will see it a little bit more. But in the future classes, we have actually taken out the complete section, whatever questions are being asked, or however I'm explaining, I have trimmed it down. Actually, I have to trim it down for the first couple of weeks also. I'll get some time. I'll free up some time to do that. All right. Thanks for the feedback, Helen. Let's move on to Peter. Hi, Peter. How was it for you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it was a bit of a challenge because I hadn't done coding for a long time. So there was little things like if you leave out a semicolon and then you're trying to figure out what went wrong.
These are syntaxes, you cannot. But the point is this: it will be a muscle memory very soon for you. You will never forget to add a semicolon, or you will it will stick to your mind that when you are writing a for loop, what are the structure of a loop that you need to write in, or how to write a if-else block. So these stuff will kind of get into your mind as and when you keep on practicing. That's why the assignments are there.
Yeah. So I watched all the videos. I did the assessments. And yeah, some of the questions you needed to think about because the wording sometimes wasn't clear. But I did the assignments as well, and I raised a few issues with on the Slack system, and the responses were good, so I'm happy with that.
Perfect, awesome. That's really good. Let's go to Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu. Prabhu, you're coming for the first time earlier. Batch, you came to me, but I couldn't really get in touch with you after that. Thanks for joining. I know you're coming through Shoaib. I will probably have a word with you separately, but this is basically the first class where in the last week I have enabled them with week number 1. I mean, you also have week number 1 enabled in your system if you look at it. And if you get some time, then probably you can try to work on it. You have to work on it. There is no ifs and buts, but you have to work on it. I will go through the topics today. Try to go and complete the assignments for sure. And next week, I will be enabling you with week number 2. So and that's how things will be moving on. So is that okay? Prabhu, by the way, Prabhu, if you just can quickly give us, yeah, you can, if you can quickly give us your introduction to the class. Last week, I was having a kickoff session and I introduced everyone in the class, but you were not there. So if you just can quickly give us your introduction, like what's your background, why are you here, and in what part of your career right now you see that automation is absolutely needed. What do you think?
Yeah, that's really correct because automation we need everywhere in the companies. That's why
I cannot hear you much well, Prabhu. Your voice is kind of low.
Can you hear me now? Clear?
Much better. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Automation needed everywhere because all industries they're automating their systems. So that's why myself I want to be in the automation side. Already I'm working with test analyst and master and banking industry. They want to updating all the systems in automation, including testing, all these things. That's why I want to learn automation and more, getting more knowledge. And in the future, I want to be an automation test analyst.
Thank
That's
you.
why
Thank
I joined
you.
this.
Absolutely. Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks for coming in. All right, let's move on to Rita. Hi, Rita. How was your first week?
Hi there. Yeah, first week was a little bit tricky. I was trying to get navigate my way sort of through the videos or how to tackle the assignments. So my method, I don't know if this is right. I watched the first video on well, the very first one for week 1, and then I went to the assignments link. I also did the assessment where I answered the questions.
Yeah.
But then I realized that not everything was covered in the video, so it was sort of making me question my strategy, whether I should watch every single video first and then go to the assignments individually, or
this is what you should do. Number 1, I have explained this earlier. When you watch the video, you take a video is for 1 hour 30 minutes. So you can break it down for logical section like 30 minutes. Whatever I'm doing, try to mimic that. Don't watch it as a movie. Try to mimic that in the system then and there. Okay. Whatever I did in the video, you just try to mimic that in the system then and there for 30 minutes. Once you are done with that part, then you can either continue watching the next 30 minutes or you can try to find a similar assignments. I have kept 10 15 assignments for the complete video, but you can go back to the assignments and take a look into the assignments and see that which part of the section, that's the part of the section that you have covered, can be found in the assignment section or not, and then you can complete the assignment. This is one way you can do it. Some people liked it and they have successfully did that, but for some people they have basically practiced the video first. They have broke it down into a 30-minute session. They have practiced the video first, and then at the end they have taken the assignments. So whatever feels good for you, you can give that a try. But whatever I'm doing in the video, there is no escape. You need to exactly try to mimic that. And when you try to mimic that, I am telling you again and again, you will face a problem. You will definitely face a problem. Maybe not in the first week, but in future weeks, you will face a problem. Without wasting your time, ask the question in the Slack that, I am facing the problem with this particular section of the video, or this particular topic, or this particular section I'm trying to implement in my system, and I'm not able to. And that's where we come in. And I am going to help you out, or Gagan is going to help you out to solve that problem for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I sort of was following along anyway, like pausing it every almost like 10, 15 minutes, sort of per section. But then I just found that when I clicked on the Google Docs or the link, the assignment link, yeah, I couldn't find, so in the assignments themselves, I couldn't find the direct examples in the
direct
video.
examples, yeah, because
That's why.
yeah, because I've given like 10 assignments for each and every video, so which is like will cover all the topics, but not exactly direct the way you are watching your video, you know.
Yeah.
So that's
so I googled a couple of things, so that's
perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Let's then move on to Rishi. Hi, Rishi. How are things with you? Rishi, are you there? Okay, I'll come back to Rishi. Sakshi, what about you?
Hi, Souvik. Yeah, it was okay for me. So since I knew Java already, like it was 8 to 10 years back when I studied. So yeah, I was able to watch the videos and finish my assignments. It was taking time initially, but then yes, I managed it here and there. So yeah, but now like while listening now to you and everyone, this is a good idea, like pausing the video and practicing in between, which I was not doing. I just watched the video first completely and then I started my assignments.
This is the problem. The problem is
Yeah.
that as soon as you finish the video and then you start start the assignments, by the time you start the assignments, you will forget everything, or you'll forget a lot of stuff, and then you have to again go back and start to watch the video, which is not a good idea.
Yeah.
You know, this programming is basically a lot of muscle memory is also involved. I mean, you need to, you know, whatever you're watching, you need to start putting into the system so that your fingers can know, or you know, you can easily put into your memory that okay, this is how the syntax should look like. So so please do that. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Rishi, can you answer me now? Are you there now? Rishi, I'm not able to hear you at all. Okay. Let's go to Jagrati. How are things, Jagrati?
Yeah, hi, Souvik. I was able to watch all the videos and complete all the assignments, and the videos were actually very good, and I've already watched it, so all went well for me. Thanks.
Very good. Thank you. Shoaib, how are things with you? I hope this time you will make it. I know you were busy last time, but I hope this time you'll make it.
Yes, Souvik. Yeah, this time I'm hoping the same. Last time I couldn't complete because of my health and stuff, but this time I'm looking forward to complete this course.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Shoaib. All right, let's go to Shravanti. Hi, Shravanti. How are things?
Hi, Souvik. The things are going good. Like I'm able to follow, and I started watching this videos from starting again one more time, and I'm making sure whatever the pending assignments are there, and I have completed it almost. I'm just waiting for the upcoming sessions.
Perfect. Good stuff.
Everything
All right.
clear from my end.
Thank you. Thank you, Shravanti. Let's move to Tamina. Hi, Tamina.
Hi,
How are
good
things?
morning.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Perfect.
Yeah, if I tell about the videos, they are well explained and they are good for me as well. Like I have a little bit of experience about Java programming. So yeah, but one thing is that like some of the point your voice was breaking. Like now I lost you at least 5th time. You know, I can't hear you properly on the mid time in videos. So maybe that's the issues. Otherwise, everything is fine for me. Yeah, I'm doing
Okay.
good.
Okay. I mean, now when I'm talking to you, you're not able to hear me out, is it?
Now it's fine, but 2 minutes back, I lost you for maybe around 30 seconds. And at the beginning of the video, I lost you 3 times.
Okay. Okay.
So
Maybe
that's the issues. Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
the
sure it's a problem
breakdown.
with my side or it's a problem at the
I don't
network
know.
level.
It's my fault.
Yeah, and now you see I'm not able to hear you. You just broke for 1 second.
Yeah, maybe from my side, or I have to check.
Okay, all right, no
Yeah.
problem. All right, let's move on to Venkat. Venkat, how are things with you?
Hi, good morning, Souvik and friends. So yeah, firstly, all the videos are very good, and they are explaining each and every topic and very clearly. So whoever is very new to the Java and Selenium in coming days, but in Java initially, it's very clear step-by-step method. So people like me who never had a Java course, but now here I am having a feeling that okay, I'm able to complete this Java and able to have to write some kind of code without any fear. So that is what I see all the videos. There is a lot of courage to encourage. There are some questions you are explaining very clearly. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong in that video. So they are good, and you can keep on continue the same videos. Like maybe people who knows already a little bit Java, maybe they feel a little bit boring or something maybe. But people who are very initially learning like me,
yeah,
the questions are important as well, and the way you're explaining is good as well. So you don't have to cut any videos, because if you cut something, that means people like me, they may not have questions anymore. So maybe if I have some question, I
that
can.
was my main idea actually. That's the
Yeah.
why I didn't trim it down.
Yeah, people have like me first time. If I have a question, I have to go back until a week, or maybe I have to come to the Slack or something. I need to have a help. But if you are helping on the videos itself, so there are some issues you are solving in the video itself. So they are nice. The way your videos are very nice. And for me, my learning approach is like, as you said, watch a video, 1.5 hour video, and then practice everything, whatever you're saying. And then only do that in the system the way you're doing, maybe different data using, but the method you're using is same like that. And then immediately it's better to finish that assignments before you go into the video. Or else it depends on if you have no time to do that assignments, maybe you can go for the next video, and until you are free, until your mind is flexible to do a assignment. Because if there is no time, and if you are doing assignment, it takes longer than what you're expecting. So it depends on how the time you are spending for these courses. I'm trying to do my best, because I never had any online courses at the minute. I usually watch the videos and learn myself in different performance tools and all these tools. But this is the first time I'm doing online courses. So I have to allocate myself the time, because I'm also a working man. So it takes time to do that. But I came to know that when I have to spend more time, that whatever you said, I agree. So I try to do my best from now onwards.
Sure, Venkat. Sure, Venkat. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks a lot. All right. So I think we understand where we are right now. Let me actually then get started with the actual live class. And let me take up more questions from you. Let me help you out to solve whatever doubts you have in your mind. Once you are done with it, I'm going to enable week number 2. And that's where you will be able to see it. So Saturday.
Can I ask a quick question here? We're supposed to ask in very first class, maybe this question, but it's not a problem to ask now. I would like to know the structure of the weeks, at least we will have a glance. Okay, those areas we are going to work this week. Just a couple of maybe 1 or 2 minutes, just showing what.
At the end of the class,
yeah.
At the end of today's class, I will show you what we have for week number 2.
Okay. Only one week number 2, because I was supposed to ask last time.
Yeah.
How many weeks you are going to teach Java or Selenium? Maybe that way,
So Java. So the point is this, right? Java core concepts of it. I think I am ending it by week number 6. Core concepts. Okay. Core concepts are I'm ending it by week number 6, because here I'm talking about static and super and this keyword. This is where I'm ending. But if you think that that is the end of Java, it's not, because then you will start using different kind of libraries that will help us to work with the automation side of it. Right, we are doing different type of automation. We are doing web automation, mobile automation, backend automation, right? So everywhere it's Java, but the core concepts of it will be kind of finished. Will be finished by week number 6. But in the meantime, we will also be doing a lot of Selenium stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's go and start the class now. I'm going to start with the class presentation for week number class 1. And here we have a lot of stuff here, which you guys have already seen. So let's look at, I'll rush through this part because these are a little bit simple to understand. We have 3 different components in Java virtual machine, runtime environment, and Java development kit. All right. Let us understand Java virtual machine. As I've explained in the video, you can just think that Java virtual machine is a layer that will help us to run a Java program, a layer that sits on top of your operating system. When I say it is sitting on top of your operating system, it can be a simple Windows or Unix or Mac, right? This could be your operating system. And on top of that, as a if you want to run a Java program, all you have to do is you have to download and configure a Java runtime environment specified for that operating system. That's it. As soon as you do it, the Java runtime environment will enable Java virtual machine, which will simply execute your Java program. The program that you are writing or somebody else is giving you, or a Java project probably you have downloaded, or you're installing a Java software, everything will be executed using Java virtual machine, which comes along with the JRE, means Java runtime environment, that you have installed and configured. That's the simple stuff. Here you have to understand one thing, that is Java virtual machine. What does it do? It executes your program, but before it executes the program, your source code that is written in simple English, or not a simple English, I will say a syntax syntax English, that gets compiled into a bytecode. Bytecode is nothing but a readable format for the machine. The machine will be able to understand that what exactly you're supposed to do, because machine understands just one thing, that is 1 or 0 and nothing more than that. So when you write a statement, in syntax English, that gets converted to a series of 1s and 0s, not 3, sorry, not 2, something like that. And this is a syntax that the machine understands, and that's why it executes it using Java virtual machine or into Java virtual machine. Okay, so that is all you need to understand as a part of this section. Let me clear my drawing quickly. Okay, if you have a question, please stop me. What is JRE? Well, as I said, you are installing a software, basically Java, into your system, specific to your operating system. You're going to install a JRE, Java Runtime Environment. Within Java Runtime Environment, we have JVM, the entity that will let you actually execute the program, which is running just on top of your operating system. And you can see that I'm saying that the JRE contains JVM, a set of libraries, libraries that will basically help you to compile the code and finally execute the program, right? That is basically a Java runtime environment. And what is JDK? JDK is, okay, so here's the thing. JRE is a runtime environment. In the environment, you are executing your program. That's it, right? But JDK is Java Development Kit. meaning this is the kit that will help you to develop a Java program. Like for you and me, we will be more into JDK. We will be using JDK only. We are not going to use JRE because in JDK, JRE is already bundled. In JDK, JRE is already bundled. A JRE is having JVM and the libraries that are needed. And JDK comes along with dev tools like Java C or Java. These are the dev tools that are coming along with JDK itself. So what is happening? You are now enabled to write a Java program and also execute it. And when you are saying JRE, this guy is only enabled to execute a program, not develop a program. If you have JRE in your system, just JRE in your system, you will not be able to implement a Java program. You will be able to execute it. That's not a problem, but implementation is not needed. That's the reason I have given you this particular diagram to show that you are a developer who is developing the Java application in a Windows system, and you are giving the source code. Okay, basically, how are you giving the source code? You're giving the source code as a build. I will say a Java build. Java build. So when I say it's a Java build, what exactly it is? It is a jar file, JAR file, Java archive file. Okay, I can show you how to do that. Very simple stuff to do. So you basically get the Java archive file, and you are giving this file to your client who is using Mac, and he is just there to execute the program. He doesn't want to develop it. So he is going to simply install JRE in his system with Mac, and that's it. And then you pass on this jar to him, and he will be able to execute it without any problem. Okay, for a Java program, we have a build. The build is a jar file. For Java, for a web application, it is generally a WAR file, WAR file. Every software gets built, right? So when you get it built, it gets built into one single entity. The entity over here is jar from Java. Front-end application, which is created using JavaScript, I think they are getting converted to a WAR file. Sorry, not JavaScript, with Java. If you're creating a front-end application with Java, you're converting that to a WAR file. Okay, so we can quickly do this step, the one that I'm showing you, which will make you some understanding that what exactly is really happening. It will be a little bit of repetitive for some of you guys, but I think it's good that we do it so that the beginners are more comfortable. Just a minute. Let me open my Eclipse. Let me see. June. Anila, I just saw your message. Could you please explain what you're saying that?
All right. I'm saying that JRE will run the program that is already converted into bytecode.
That is right. That is right. Yes.
So in JDK we have already compiled the code and converted into bytecode.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, and I'll prove that to you right now. For example, this is your Eclipse. You create a Java project, and let's say I'll say summary or Java class 1, Java class 1, and I'm going to use the one that I have already installed here in my system, Java 11. So I'll be using Java 11 as my main Java. So I'll just say don't create this module part. And in here, I'll do nothing, but I will just say new package. In the package is nothing but a simple folder in which I'm going to keep my Java file, right? So I'm going to keep this package called test Java. The name of the package is test Java. Packages are always named in lowercase. I'll go and do a finish, and then I'll say new Java class. Okay, I'll say test Java. Again, it is let me give a different name. Java class 1, class A, whatever, with a main method over here. Okay, and finish. Simple. That's my, okay, let me improve my font size. You can do that in the Eclipse. You can go to the preference and then say font, and here it's a colors and fonts, and then you can look for basic, expand this, and then go a little down. You see text editor, text font, edit, and just make it 14. All right, that increases the font. Good stuff. And here I'll do nothing, but I'll just write a simple program, a simple printout statement called sysout. Sysout is a shortcut to write the printout statement. System.out println. This is what I wanted to write. So shortcut is sysout, and when you say sysout, you have to hit. So this is what you have to do. You just say, come on. You say SYSO, and then you say control plus space, right? Control plus space to expand it. All right. Okay. Anyway, so sysout, and here I'll say this is welcome to Wisdom QA July 2021. That's it, right? This is my simple Java project that I created. No problem at all. I want to show you something that you can easily understand. Whatever I just said about compilation, it happens on its own. It happens on its own because we are working in this IDE. This is the IDE where we are going to develop the program. That is the reason why the compilation happens on its own. If you are not using the IDE, then you have to deal with Java C. Java C is a program that helps you to compile a code into a bytecode. Okay, but editor, the Eclipse editor, will do that for you automatically. And how do you know that? You can easily know that by going to the location where the project is located. So you go to Java class 1, go to, say, show in System Explorer, and it will open it up in the folder or a Windows Explorer mode. And now if you just go and open this up, you can see some stuff. You can see there are some folders and files. So settings file, settings folder, class path, and project folder, project file, these are all maintained by Eclipse. So we are not really bothered about it, but we have this source folder. You can see there's a source folder over here also. So it is basically referring to the same source folder. So if you just open that up, you can see there's a folder again called test Java. So I said it's a package. It's a package from Java perspective, but from Windows perspective, it's nothing but a simple folder. In this folder, if you open this up, you have a file, the file which is having the extension, a Java extension, right? If you open this up, a simple English, exactly what you have seen in the editor, right? Now, as soon as I saved it, as soon as I saved the file, you can see that there is a bin folder as well. Bin means binary folder. Okay. If you open that binary folder, you can see that it is a mirror image of whatever is happening within the source folder, which means I have a test Java package as well in the bin folder. And I just go and open this up. When I open this up, you can see miraculously the Java file got compiled into a class file. I didn't do a thing to compile it to a class file. If I open this up, you will see gibberish. Do you see that? This is ones and zeros, which the machine can understand and you cannot understand. So it gets compiled. That's a byte code. Now, as I told you, that I can convert this to a jar file and I can send it across to my client, right? This is my jar file. How do I do it? Very, very simple stuff. You just need to know these things. It's not rocket science, guys, please. So right click on this, say export, right? And say Java, expand this, jar. That's it. Say next. And it's just saying that where do you want to put this jar file to? So I'm saying, yeah, export generated class files and resources. I want to just get the jar file out of the class files which I have created, because there is no point in creating the jar file out of Java file. That is not what is needed, because to execute the program, all you need is a class file, not the Java file. So just give the name to the file. I want to put this file in my desktop maybe. So I'll just say July demo jar, right? July demo, that's it. All right. It comes as a jar file. So just a save and it's a finish. And that's what I did. If I just go back to my program, you see I have July demo, right? How do I run this guy? I can run this guy by two things. I can go to my command prompt and I can access this location. So properties, CD. Okay, that's my location. I can go and I can run this program just by hitting up Java July demo. Come on. Java minus jar July demo. Wait a minute. .jar. No main manifest found in the July. Why is that? I have a main file. Just a minute. No, I did the right thing. This is the thing. Java jar July demo dot jar. That is right. No manifest file. No manifest file. Okay, I think, right, I think I have exported it without the manifest file. Let me just try it again. Let me just try it again. Export Java runnable jar, my bad. Runnable jar is the one I have to use if I want to use it as a part of the command prompt. So I use this jar. This jar will be used if you are trying to give this project to somebody else. So let me cover that first, all right? Let me cover that first. So what I'll do is I will quickly open up a new package, a new project. I'll just say test jar pack project, all right? Finish. All right, I created this project, test jar project. And what I will do is I will use this project. I will basically use this project, the second project, in this project. How? I can simply right click on the second project, properties, go to Java build path, and over here in the libraries under class path. All right, you watch the video again, you will know what am I doing. In the class path, you say add external jars. That's where you go and you add the jar file, July demo, just like that. And you say apply and close. That's how you added the compiled version of your code from Java class 1 to test jar. Once you have added that, Now you can see new package, a new package, yeah, test package. And in this, I can say new class, again say test jar with the main method. And what I will do is, you see, this is the main method, right? In this main method, I'm not printing out anything. However, I'm be just doing one thing. That is, whatever the content I have in my previous project, which I have compiled into a jar file, I want to basically access this content. How do I do that? It's very simple. All you do is this. You say, what's the name of the class? The class name is Java class A. So just say Java class A dot main, right? Java class A dot main. And why did I show you this? I showed you this because now you are seeing a new statement automatically added into the file, and that's the import statement. What does it mean? It means that I have a library which I have just added. If you open this library, the jar file, if you open this file, you see that there is a package called test Java package, the same package that I created here, right? The same package. And the package has got a class file, Java class A dot class file. So in this Java class, which is a compiled version of your .java file, is having a main method which I'm trying to access. So which is why in the import statement is telling me, or it is getting added into the file automatically, because it is able to access this class information from a package called test Java. So this import is basically telling you where this class is located, under which particular package it is located. Something that you have to add in here. Why you have to add in here? Because this guy is not a part of test jar project. It is not a part of test jar project. It is a part of a different project which you're trying to access from test jar. That's it. Now, if that's the case, let's go and run this. Let's go and run this. I will run this guy here. Run as Java application. Oh, sorry, my bad. It's main and arguments. Right? And then I have to import, right? That's good. Let's go and run this now. Run as Java application. And you see, welcome to Wisdom QA. Welcome to Wisdom QA is not a part of test jar class, but still I'm able to use it. How? Because it is coming from a different library, which I'm adding into your current project. Is this part making sense, everybody? Yes, no? Give me a shout, please, in the chat. Is this part making sense?
So it works because you've imported Java class A.
Sorry, I did. Sorry, go on. What's your question one more time?
Yeah, so it works as you've imported it.
Yeah,
Using
exactly.
the import is crucial for this.
Yeah, import is crucial. Even if you add the jar file into your project, it will not know that where are you trying to refer it from. See, if I remove this import, okay, it will complain you that where exactly this guy is coming from. So you can hover. So this Eclipse can do that for you. If you hover on top of it, it tells you that the Java class is a part of test Java package. Is this the same one that you're trying to import? I say yes. So you just put this and you get imported. You imported this to your current file where you are trying to use it. When I say use it, you're trying to use it because you wanted to call the main method, right? A main method which is existing in Java class A. Simple as that. Everybody clear with it?
Yeah, so in real life scenarios, we use many times the import command.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100 times, 100,000 times. Because we will be not implementing everything on our own. We will be getting things added to our project, which is coming out of different libraries. Selenium WebDriver, it's a library that we will be importing into our project and then using it. So import is everywhere in Java, in JavaScript, any programming language that you can think of. You will be dealing with libraries. Libraries, a group of people who have already done the job. You have to simply use it in your system and then implement on top of it. Make sense?
Yeah. So initially you're trying to create a jar file to give a client, but now you are showing us before that you are showing that how to import another information from another class.
No, you didn't get that. So there are two projects here. There are two projects here, project number 1, project number 2. Did you understand that I am creating a jar file from Java class 1? Did you get that part?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I got the Java jar from this particular Java class 1, I imported that particular class into this project. I added the jar file into this particular second project as a library.
Yeah.
Library. How do I prove that? I prove that because I can expand my Java jar, and you can see it says reference library. In the reference library, you can see this is the jar file that I have added to it, right?
Yeah.
So just by adding it, you will not be able to use the classes that are added to the jar file until and unless you import them into the class where you are trying to use it. Meaning, this is my jar file, test jar file. In the test jar file, I want to use the class meaning Java class A, which is why I imported it. Make sense?
Yeah, good, clear.
Good. All right, perfect.
Excuse me, can I ask something here
Yeah,
quickly?
Yeah, sure.
I was gonna ask, so basically, that class that was imported into the second project,
yeah.
In order to import it, I saw when you open the reference libraries, it gives you the address of that jar file from your desktop.
Correct.
But when you work in Eclipse, you have a different folder where it saves all the projects, right? So what I'm trying to ask is that if you don't save that jar file as you did on your desktop, it won't work to import it, or you would be able to import it anyway.
No, you cannot.
Because,
I mean, are you saying that without a jar file, you are trying to import the class from here to here?
no, I'm saying that when you saved it on your desktop, I don't know what was it called?
Yeah,
You went
I named it
import. No,
yeah,
I mean.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say that if you don't import it, would you still be able to use it from where all these two projects are saved? Because you don't have the whole project saved on your desktop. You only took, or was it the whole project when you had it saved on your desktop? When you try to show us that you can send it to someone, you did the whole project, right?
I did the whole project, yes.
Yes. But is that the same thing as when, for example, if all the new projects that I've done on Java, they are saved in one folder on my computer? So is that the same thing? Like the project that I have saved, is it the same thing with what you did when you imported it?
Are you saying that without creating a jar file, are you saying that you want to execute? No, you cannot.
You cannot. Okay.
No, you cannot. You cannot. You have to put this, because when you're creating a project, they are still a Java. It's not a class yet. I mean, in the bin folder, you can find a class.
Yeah.
But you have to somehow give the class to Java to execute it. You are not going to give that .java file. .java file is not the one that you are concerned about. .java file is for your reference to write the code. Simple as that.
Okay, and then
To
it will
write
be a
the
.jar file.
yeah, write the code, right? Once you write the code, it gets compiled to .class file, right?
Yeah.
It gets compiled to a .class file, which is readable by machine, readable by machine. Okay, and then to get multiple class, because in the project you will have multiple Java. The multiple Javas needs to be packaged into one single entity. So that packaging is called as jar, converting to a jar. You understand?
Yes, I understand now.
Yeah, good stuff. So
Okay, thank you.
no problem. That's great. Yeah, Anila, you have a question? Please go on.
What if jar file is from different version of Java?
Huh? So
And we are executing it here in different version of Java, which will work.
it will work. Yeah, it will work. I mean, if it is so it will work from bottom up approach, meaning if you are creating a jar file out of version 16, then you cannot add it to a Java version 11 project.
Okay.
But if you're creating a project out of Java version 8 into Java version 11, it will work.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's good. Let's move on to the next part of it. Let's go and say, okay, I have done this part. You understand it. All right. Just one thing I wanted to show you though. That is this Java class. I just converted to a jar file. I want to convert this to a export, and I want to say runnable jar file. Suppose you would just want to give this jar file as a runnable jar. Somebody wants to just run it and do something, right? So runnable jar, and just say next, and just say in the same location again, desktop, July demo 1.jar, right? Extract. Oh, sorry. Here, when you're creating a jar file, a runnable jar file, you have to work with launchable configuration. So let's see. The launchable configuration is this for me, okay? And then what we will do is no, launchable configuration is not this for me. Sorry, this is not the one. Hold on. What am I doing? Jar file, export jar, runnable jar. Next. Launchable configuration is test jar. Why is that? Select a Java application launchable, create a runnable jar. One minute. July demo 1. Extract launchable configuration is should not be this one. Extract a jar is let me see what does it do. Okay. So I just got July demo 1. And now if I say Java July demo 1, I'll just have to. Yeah, it works. It works fine. Okay. So you see, because I said Java minus jar July demo 1 dot jar. Now you can see it just runs me that. So you're just creating a launchable jar. Run it. You can actually run it like this, but you have to run it from the command prompt. Sorry, you can run it from the icon directly. You can run it from the command prompt, and you can see I was able to execute it directly, right? So that's how you ideally do it. Now let me quickly go back to the program. So this part, Eclipse ID, blah, blah, blah. We all know that part. Okay, I think Rishi is having some problem. He's getting disconnected over and over again. Rishi, are you getting disconnected for some reason?
Yes, so there was a technical problem, so I have to connect again. I think
Okay.
this is correct. So thank you.
Okay. Are you in a good position now?
Yes, I can communicate and I can listen to you as well. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, that's good. So class number 1 is over. There were no assignments here, so we are good. Let's go to the next section with class number 2. Class number 2, presentation. All right. As a part of this, what do I have? We have spoken about main method. Okay, adding numbers, simple stuff. Let me just talk about. Okay, let's go and understand this.
So
A main method. Yeah, go on.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Two things. Now you were explaining how to create jar and then
Yeah.
run that jar file in the command prompt. What is,
Correct.
and then that before that you said there are two methods to run this file. One is from command prompt and second is from?
Second is from the Eclipse, which I showed you. I mean, basically adding the project into the adding the jar into the project and then execute it.
Okay. And one more thing. When you create a project in Eclipse,
yeah,
and then I have installed Java 11,
yeah,
and then it gives you something. When you create a new project, name it, and there you have something like it shows you Java 16. Yeah.
Okay, the wizard, right? The wizard.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So for example, I want to create a project, new Java
Yeah.
project, and you say in here, right? You're saying
Yes, here use an execution environment JRE. So if we say we have 11 installed, and if it is by default taking 16, what will happen then?
no, you change it to 11 because you cannot create a jar file out of environment which is not there in your system.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a list which is coming out of my Eclipse version by default, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you cannot choose something that is not there in your system.
Okay.
You can definitely create a jar file for something that is lower than your current system, right? You can say I want to go with Java 1.8. It's fine, but you cannot go for something above this. All this is a basic rule. Always remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So Souvik, you have in your system Java 16 as well.
No.
That is what you are showing.
No, I don't have Java 16. I have Java 14.
Yeah,
Java
you have
14, 13, 12. I don't have it. But this Eclipse is already listing it for me. This is Eclipse is listing it for me.
Okay.
I mean, Eclipse is not syncing with the Java version that I have installed. It is just showing. So for example, if you look at my Eclipse version is 2020. So version 2020 that I have, by that time there were only Java 14, which is why it is just listing you down. It doesn't mean that you have it here in your system. You understand? You can create a project out of anything below this because in your system you have Java 11 already created. So you can create something out of this from Java 1.8 onwards. I mean, why will you go to Java 1.5? No point. At least from 1.8 to 11, you can create these 4 versions, obviously, but not for something which is not there in your system.
Okay, so the person who has a Java lower than our version, so you can create a jar file with the lower
correct. Yes.
version. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that is the reason why, I mean, this 11 project can be executed in 11. I mean, a system which is having 11 or above, not something below. You understand me? When I'm creating a Java project out of this Java 11, I can execute it on Java 11 or something above. If you're creating a Java project out of 1.8 version, then you can run it on a 1.8 and above. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean the execution part, not the creating part, execution part. So that's that. Okay, let's go to the main method. What is the main method? We have to understand this. Why? Because main method is the kickoff point for any Java project. You need to say that this is from where my Java program is getting kicked off, right? So main method is the kickoff point. In the main method, you have to learn, you have to remember this entire syntax. Java virtual machine is looking for exactly whatever you see in the screen right now. Public static void main and a string of array as an argument. This is what a JVM is looking for. In this whole syntax, there are a few things that you will not understand. Okay, whoever is starting for the first time. The number one is an access specifier. What does it mean? It means this method can be executed from anywhere. When I say anywhere, I mean anywhere in the project or outside of the project. You remember I just proved that to you. I got a project number 1 and I got a project number 2. In the project number 1, I had, so this is PR1, this is PR2. I proved that to you that a public, a method with a public access can be executed from anywhere within the project, outside of the project. Because PR1 that I created, I converted that to a jar file and simply I pushed it here or added it here, and then I was able to execute it, which proves my point with the public situation, public access specifier. We will be using access specifier. We will be learning about access specifier more in future classes, but for now, understand this. Then there is a keyword called static. It needs a lot of discussion, which we are doing in class week number 6. However, I will like to tell you that because you have a static keyword, because a method that I have here, the method which is named as main method, a main method is having a keyword called as static. Because of the static keyword, I am able to access the main method. I am able to access the main method directly with the name of the class. I proved that as well, because if you look at my project, you can see in the test jar project where I was accessing the Java class 1 jar, you can see I said Java class 1 dot main. You see that? Java class 1 dot main. If you are not using, if the main method is not a static method, I will get it from here. If the main method is not a static method, then I will not be able to use it. I mean, I will not be able to use it directly with the name of the class. But here you can see, I access the main method directly with the name of the class. There are multiple ways you can access a method from one class to the other class. One way is static. If a method is a static, you can access it, but that is not the complete information. The complete information is coming in the future classes. All right, but just to make it a little bit understandable for you, I'm just saying that is why we are using static. Anyway, the next is a void. The keyword is void. What does void means? Void means this main method is not returning back any information. What do you mean by returning back? It means a method, when you are calling a method can perform an operation and just finish the method over there. It can just perform the operation and come out of the method. Or a method can perform the operation and return back with some information. I'll talk about method more, but for now, you understand that this main method is just performing an operation and not returning back anything. So it's a return type is void, means no return type, means nothing is getting returned, right? How will you know that the method is returning back anything? you will know our method is returning back anything, because in the method you will see a statement or a keyword called as a return. You can say I'm returning a number, maybe 100. I'm returning 100. A method which has a keyword called return means the method is returning something. And then because 100 is a number, you will say the return type is going to be int, because 100 is a number. You're returning back an integer. Okay, we will talk about it, don't worry. Main is the name of the method, so that's simple to understand. And then we have something called as arguments. These arguments are basically an array of arguments. What is an array? Array is nothing but an option for you to supply multiple information together inside the system, inside the method at once. Suppose I want to pass multiple sets of name. I want to pass multiple sets of name into the method. How can I do it? I can very easily create a method, right? Let me show you. What I will do is I will create okay, here Java class 1. Okay, so this is my argument. Welcome class. Here I'll just pass on multiple names. Okay, plus I'll do something. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say a for loop. Don't worry, I'll talk about for loop. But for loop string name colon args. The syntax is Greek and Latin for you now. Don't bother, but I will explain it. So idea is simple. Idea is that I will supply multiple names here. Name 1, comma name 2, comma name 3, right? This name that I'm supplying to this main method will be, so I'm supplying it here. And this main method is this argument that is now holding these 3 names. I will be simply using a normal for each loop. The for each loop will process each and every name one by one, and finally add the names into my printout statement. That's my main motive out of it. What I'll do is very simply go ahead and say plus name. That's it. So I'm basically concatenating this value with this string. Okay, using the plus operator. That's all I'm doing. So what I'll do is very simple. I'll go ahead and execute this program. However, I want to execute this program from my command prompt. Okay, so this is a Java class file. Okay, you know the Java class file is created in the bin folder. We already know that because compilation is taken care by Eclipse itself. So what can I do is I can go directly to my properties. Sorry, show in System Explorer. I'll go down to my bin folder under test Java. That's my location where my class file is. You can see. I will open a command prompt right here. Open Windows Terminal. Right here. So I got this guy. Okay. I can just do a dir to see what do I have. I have this file. I can say Java space version. Let me just see if I can access it here. Because this is a different, this is not the Windows command prompt. Yeah, I can access this. This is a PowerShell window, which I have downloaded separately. So we are good with that. Now, here I'm going to add in, here I'm going to add in the name of the class. So I'll say Java. I'm just trying to hit the class file directly. It is not a jar file. Because it is not a jar file, I will not be giving Java minus jar argument. I will not be giving that. I will just directly access the class file. I'll say Java class A, and Java class A is accepting multiple arguments. Okay, because there is a string of array, multiple arguments. I can give names, like I can say Tamina, I can give Shoaif, I can give Sakshi, right? I can give Peter, right? And let's hit enter. No class definition found. Why is that? What is wrong with it? No class definition found. Could not load the main class. Class definition not found. Just a second. If I remove these guys, no, that will not make any difference to me. Okay, I created this class out of Eclipse. Is that the reason why it is doing? Wait a minute. It's a normal Java class. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Java class. Could not load the main class. This should work. This should work for sure. Okay, I think I know what's happening. You know what's happening? Because, right, I think it's happening because I am directly in the folder, which is the test Java folder, which is under a package. There's a package over here, right? And when I'm trying to access it, it's probably not able to understand the package information. That could be one stuff that is happening. Let's see. Let's see. Copy this guy. I'll copy this guy directly to my another directory. Let's just check something out. Okay, so I just got this guy, just the class here. And you know what, my bad, because it's a compiled class. I'll not be able to do it. Anyway, let me actually try to do something. I'll try to create a new file here itself. Don't worry. New text file. I'll just simply, in the text file, the name of the file will be Java class 1, class A. All right. Dot Java. Okay. Actually, I will do one thing quickly. I'll copy this much only, not the package information. Paste it here. And what I'll do is I will save this file as a .java file. All files, just save it here. Okay, so now this is a Java file. Okay, this is a Java file. I will use this Java file to get compiled to a .class file. So I can do that easily. Okay, so I have these guys here. So Java, and then I will just simply compile it. Java C. It's not Java. I'll use Java C. Java C to compile it. In the Java C, I will say Java class A, Java class A dot Java. Enter. Yeah, you know what? It's not showing me. It should be a Java file, showing me a text file. It didn't get converted properly. Hold on. File, save as. This is not a text file, man. Dot Java. Dot Java. Save. Let's see. Yeah, now it is a Java file. That is my problem. Okay, so let's go and do it again. So it got compiled. When it got compiled over here to Java class A. You can see 1136, it got compiled. So we are good. Now let's try to run this program with Java. And I will just say Java class A. Okay. And I'll give some name. Peter, Sakshi. I'll give Tamina. You see? The earlier problem was happening because I was in I took that Java class file, which was having a package information in, and then I was trying to access it directly from the command prompt. So when I was trying to do it from the command prompt, it was not understanding where the package is coming from. That is why it was failing. However, in this case, I didn't take any package information, and I'm directly running it, which is why you see I'm able to access everything. And you can see that all the names over here were passed on as an array into the main method and then printed all the names over here. Very simple. Okay. And you also understood how to compile the Java file using Java C. Simple. So that is that. Now let's go back to the next part. Okay, Java packages and sub packages. Java packages showed you how to create that. You can actually create Java sub package also. So many times you will see, for example, I will not create it, but I can show you something. For example, we have added this reference library, which is my own library, and it has got just one package called test Java. However, if you look at the system library that is coming along with your project, okay, which is the GRD system library, the GRD system library has hundreds of jar files, hundreds of them, correct? So now if I open up any one of them, you can see something. You can see the name of the package. It says Java X dot annotation dot processing. What does it mean? It means that processing and annotations are the sub packages of Java X, meaning annotation is the sub package of Java X and processing is the sub package of annotation. Okay. How do you create sub package? Very simple. You can just say new package. As soon as you say new package, it already gives you the name of the package, and you say dot sub test and say finish, and you create a sub package which is under test Java, and you can just have another copy of the same file if you want to, and you can see these are two different packages. It's called sub packaging. Okay, that is exactly what I'm trying to show you. Now, what about this syntax? It's saying Java util.star. What does the syntax mean? It means that under Java util, whatever classes are there, you are trying to import everything in the class or refer everything in the class. What if you don't do it? If you don't do it, then you have to individually import every classes. For example, Java util. Let's go and see Java util. Everything is here. Everything, whatever I'm showing you, everything is there right there in the Eclipse. All you have to do is open stuff and then look into it. For example, Java util is what I'm looking for, right? Java SQL, Java JDI. Do I see Java util here? It must be here. Compiler, JDI, shell, net. I don't think Java util is here. Java util is not here. We have to get it from somewhere else. Okay, anyways. Oh, my bad. Actually, Java util is a part of Java base jar. Just a minute. Let me look. Yeah, here. You see that? Java util. Java util is a part of. So you don't import when you're importing it. You don't import the jar file. You import the package. So you can see Java util is a package, and if you open this up, there are thousands of classes. You see how many different utility things you already have. Event listener, enum, date, currency, so many stuff. They're all coming out of Java util, right? So if you don't want to add them separately, and if you have requirement like for 5 or 10 of them, and you don't want to add them separately, you can just say Java util dot star. Basically, it means that you are kind of referencing all of them, and then you can directly add the class into your project, and you can into your class, and you can use it. That's what that star means. All right. So Java packages are there for certain purpose. Number one is preventing naming conflicts. What does it mean? It means you can have two different class name with the same name, right? Two different Java file with the same name, but they can stay in the same project in two different packages. It's quite simple, obviously, because at the end of the day, they are simple folders. So obviously, searching items easier. Locating class interface enums can be easier because you will be creating some organized structure there with the packages, so it'll be easier. Providing access control. Okay, you will see what I mean by access control when I talk about protected and default. All right, so let's move on. Variables and constants. A very simple way to write variables. If you have watched the video, you have seen it. This is the data type that you are trying to create the variable for. Number is the name of the variable, and the value is the value that you give. Okay, if you don't give a value to the variable when you are just creating it, for example, if you write this, for example, you just say int int num, that's it. What happens then? Java will allocate a default value of 0 to an integer variable. Okay, and it's always a good practice to give some initial value to the variable. All right, there are two things: variable and constants. Variable is something that can keep on getting updated, right? When you're creating a variable, you're kind of creating a storage area for your variable, and that storage area can be simply overridden multiple times. You can keep on updating over and over again. Constant, on the other hand, you can give a value to the constant, but the constant cannot ever be updated at runtime. When you're executing your program, you cannot update a constant, right? You can easily prove that. For example, you can easily prove that by simply going into your project. For example, I'll go to this guy here, test jar, and okay, and just say the final int num equals some number, right? And if I just try to just try to update this. I'll say int num equals num plus 1. If I do it, I get an error right here in the compilation. There are two type of errors you will get. Number one is a compilation error. Number two is a runtime error. Compilation error and runtime error. And it's quite easy to understand because compilation and runtime errors. Runtime errors. Why compilation? Why runtime? Because you see, if I'm doing compilation, error will come when Eclipse will try to compile it. So Eclipse tried to compile this piece of code, and it is immediately telling me that, okay, you are not doing it right because num is a constant. You can see very final local variable num cannot be assigned, clearly saying you that. That's a compile time error. But at times, runtime error will come, which will not be caught in the compilation time. Meaning, if I do this, if I say sys out, and if I say num divided by 0, it is going to actually throw you an error. You cannot divide a number with a 0, but it is not caught in the compilation time. So this kind of issues will come in the runtime level. So go and run this, you get the error, arithmetic exception divided by 0 is not possible, right? Always remember that. So let's go and get in the next part. Data types. There are multiple type of data types. Primitive and non-primitive is the group I'm talking about. I've given the explanation to you in the video. Please, if you haven't watched it, please do it. It's very important for you to understand that. So primitive data type is the data type which came along with the program, Java program itself. At the very initial days when Java was created, the developers of this Java tool or the program, they thought that they have to give some kind of data type for the users or for the developers who can hold different types of data. So that's where the primitive data type comes in place. They have added all of them, and I have explained to you why they are different, how they are different in the video. I'll not go over it again, but ask me questions if you didn't understand it. Second type of is non-primitive. Non-primitive data types are also data types, but these are actually Java classes. These are actually Java classes which were sometimes built on top of the primitive data type concept. Meaning, you see, I have string over here. String is a data type, and this data type is a non-primitive data type, but actually if you look into it, it's a class. Why can I say it's a class? Because it's very simple to prove, because if you go there, for example, in the Eclipse, if you go and say int, which is a primitive data type, if I hit a dot with it, I don't get anything. I just get this class, nothing at all. However, if I say string and say dot, I'm getting so many methods to work with. What does it say? It says this is a class which has got some methods into it already implemented, which means it's a non-primitive data type. It is basically helping us to store multiple characters together in one place. That's why it's a string. I can say string and say name, and you just go and say Sovic. But can I do the same in character? I will not be able to, right? I will not be able to. I will say char c equals Sovic. Can I do it? I cannot. I cannot. It holds one character at a time, mismatch. It's saying cannot convert string to a char. Obviously, you cannot. Character is just holding one character at a time. So you should always put it as single quote and then give a character. That's how you define a character, right? So a better way of describing it, I've done this in the video. Please go and watch it once. Let's go, and there's a data structure I have given as well. So that's that. All right, let's move on to the operators. There are different types of operators that we are concerned about, and we will take a look into it. Okay, arithmetic operators, it will help us to perform arithmetical operations. Relational operator will help you to understand the difference between a left-hand side and right-hand side of an equation. Logical operator will tell you if a statement is, if multiple statements are making sense or not making sense. If it's making sense, you want to do something. If it's not making sense, then you want to do something else. Then you have pre and postfix operator, you have assignments operator, and you have ternary operator. I've spoken about all of them. Let's go and quickly take a look. Okay, this part I will not do in the program. You can see that I'm simply performing multiple different arithmetic operation. You can see I have these two different integers and another integers to store value. And you can see what am I doing? I'm saying result equals a plus b. It will convert a plus b. It will add a plus b and basically print the result for you. So on and so forth. I did it for subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. What is a modulus? It's basically a reminder, right? For example, if you are dividing 5 by 2, dividing 5 with 2, what will you do? You will basically do this, right? It will say 2 times 2 is 4, and you just get 1. That's your reminder. That's what you get out of the modulus function, right? You say a percentile b. That's what it will give you. So let's move on to the next part of it. Relational operator. I want to talk about this. You have two different numbers here. You have two different numbers here. Int a equals 25. Int b equals 30, right? Once I have these two, what I'll do is I can check if these two things are making sense or not. I mean, if these two things are equal or not equal, okay, greater than equal, less than equal, I can do all this stuff. Relational operator will give me back the result in a Boolean format, guys, in a Boolean format. Okay, relational operators ops will give result in Boolean format. How about that? Okay, how does it do? It's very simple. You do it just where sys out, and you can say a equals to b. I'm trying to see if a is equals to b. It is not a single equals. If you do a single equal, it means you're assigning the value of b to a. That is not what we are trying to do here. We are trying to say if a is equals to b, if LHS left hand side is equals to the right hand side or not. And if you do that, you will see the result coming back to me as, oh, right. Okay. Well, one more thing, guys. It's good that it happened. You see that I was trying to execute a number divided by 0. And you see what happened? You see that I got an exception in line number 14. Because I got an exception in line number 14, my entire program stopped. It didn't even bother to execute any of it. Right? Now, you can handle this. you can handle this by using something called as try catch. I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit off the topic, but I wanted to really show you when it makes sense. So you can see I'm trying to put this whole statement, this particular statement specifically where I'm doing the division. I want to put the statement under a try catch block. Try catch. That's how you write it. Exception, exception, E, and the statement, which is actually making this execution fail, you can put it within the try, simple as that. What will happen when it hits line number 15? Obviously, the exception will come in. However, whenever the exception will come in, the execution will directly land into the catch section, and then it will be automatically consumed within it. It will not really explode and stop your execution, right? That's why try catches are there. We'll talk about it more later, but for now, just understand this is what it is, right? What do? I just go and say sys out, and I go and say e dot get localized message. Whatever the message is, I'm just printing it out, not stopping the program. So let's go and do it one more time. You see, it says by 0. That was the localized message that came to me, no problem at all. And then it just says out of this that A is not equals to B. So it just says false. Simple as that. You can also get it saying, is it not equals to B? Yes, it is. You get the value as true. Is it less than equals to B? Yes, it is. You get the value as true again. That's how it is. So meaning a relational operator less than equals to, greater than equals to, it gives you back a Boolean formatted information. Make sense? Okay, so with that, let's go and
Sorry,
yeah.
would you mind to show just A equal to B, what is showing?
If you just say A equals to B, it will actually do nothing. You're just trying to print the value of A. Why? Because B value is in A now. If you just say again A, run. Oh, sorry, my bad. Here. You see, because you said B is equals to A, you got 30, and here you got 30 again because A is now 30. So that's why. Make sense? All right, good stuff. Let me quickly, okay, we have 1 more hour to go today. I'll try to cover up as much as I can. Next week, obviously, today the first class after the kickoff session, so I had to understand how did it go with week number 1 for you. So we did a longer discussion, but next week onwards we will not really spend so much time into it. All right. I'll take a quick 5 minutes break, guys. I'll get some water. You also take a quick breather, and then we'll start in 5 minutes, and then we'll try to cover up as much as I can. This is out of the class 2. I have another 2 classes to go over. Let me see if I can cover it. If not, no bother. We'll do it tomorrow. Next week. Okay. And I will obviously enable you week number 2 because it's simple stuff. All right. This is array. It's very important to cover array loops. Yeah, I think we can easily cover this up in another hour. Where are? Yeah, I think this slide deck is enough to cover everything that I have spoken in the week number 1. So we'll just follow this guy. Give me 5 minutes. I'll come back and we'll start from here on. Okay. Okay. So we understood arithmetic operator. We understood relational operator. Logical operator is a little bit different, and we have to understand this with a example properly. So logical operators are also resulting back with Boolean. value at the end of the day, right? Let me just try and show this to you. For example, I do a sys out. I have, okay, I have 3 numbers. Int C equals 35, right? I'm talking about a logical operator. There are 2 different logical operators we have. We have and we have or. We have 2 different logical operators, and or. Now, what exactly it means? To make it work, to make it understandable for you, I'll use a if statement. If I'm saying if A, if B, no, I'll say if C, if A is greater than, if A is greater than B, and B is greater than C. A is greater than B and A is greater than C. Sorry, A is greater than C. Then I want to print this out. I want to print A is greatest. Okay, I am using if and else if. So a lot of people keep on saying that if is a if loop. If is never a loop. If is never a loop. It's a if block. Please don't call it as a if loop. Loops are only for loop, while loop, do while loop. That's it. But it is a if block. Now, if block can be nested with else if. You can just say else, or you can say else if. When I say else, it means if this particular operation is false, then it will execute this one, right? But here I want to basically make sure that which one is the greatest number. That is my motive. I want to know which one of these is the greatest number. So how can I do that? I can do that with else if, because I want to evaluate multiple conditions. So you can see I did a if, and then I'm saying else if. We'll talk about this if block again later on. But anyways, just see if B is greater than A, and I'll actually put this in a double bracket, and B is greater than C, B is greater than C, then B is greatest. Simple. And else. Now, for the third situation, I don't have to write a else if, because it's quite understandable. Then obviously the C will be greatest. So I just say C is greatest. What is that? Okay.
You're missing a plus after B.
Bad, yeah, I'm just putting the plus here. Okay, wrong. And then I'll say else C is greatest. Else sys out C is greatest. Right. C plus is greatest. Good. Simple program. Now I want to show you something which is very important. I will break down this entire if else in three different lines to make sure that you understand this very well. Let's see. Why did I do it? I did it because I want to show you how to run a program in a debug mode. Very important. You cannot understand this. Okay. You cannot be a developer if you are scared out of debugging. You cannot. Period. So don't be scared of debugging. I see a lot of people, they are happy to go and just click on this play button, execute it, and they think that it's all good. No. Okay, you have to know how to debug. Basically, it means you need to know that when your Java program is executed from top to bottom, you need to know that at every step, how exactly it is performing, what exactly it is being performed, right? At every step, what exactly it's being performed, you need to know that, which is why you have to do debugging. To perform a debugging, you need to put a breakpoint in line number 34. Okay, you need to put a breakpoint in line number 34. How to put a breakpoint? So you can put a breakpoint anywhere. Ideally, you can put a breakpoint here, you can put a breakpoint here, you can put it anywhere, ideally, right? How do you put a breakpoint? You put a breakpoint by double clicking on the edge in the blue section, just like that. Okay, so when you got this breakpoint, now you can debug it. How do you debug it? Right click on this and say debug as Java application. Okay, it's very important for you to do this. So again, right click it, the class that you want to debug, right click it, debug as Java application. Okay, it will ask you for this particular prompt. Do you want to switch the perspective of Eclipse? Switching the perspective means you are just going to go into the debug layout of Eclipse. The task that we are doing, ideally, you don't need to really go to the debug layout. Okay, you can say remember my decision and say no. You don't need to go to debugging. Say no, and you will see that your execution will come at pause in line number 34, because we are right now putting a breakpoint line number 34. It is at pause. Now, when it is done, then I will now see what to do, meaning I will see what is exactly happening. We are trying to perform an AND operation here. As a part of AND operation, what happens? What happens is this. Firstly, this particular section will be evaluated, number one. Okay. Once this section is evaluated and it is true, then it will come to the next line to see whether it is also true or not. Understand this very well. If it is true, only then it will come to this guy to evaluate. If this is false, then there is no pointing even evaluating this guy. This is the reason why I broke it down to 3 different lines. So ideally, this is what will happen. It will come to this particular line first and check whether A is greater than B or not. It is not. So if it is not, this guy will not even be checked. You will not even check that part, right? And immediately your execution will come from here to here to check whether B is greater than A or not. And let's see what happens. Okay, I'll just try to execute this, not execute this. I will not hit the play button. I will use step into. Do you see that? It skipped this part. It landed straight here in the else if. Now it is evaluating B greater than A or not. Is it? Yes, it is. B is greater than A, meaning this one should be checked. This one should be checked. This is true for me. And this one will be checked again. Because yeah, it is true. But is this true? Let's see. We'll do step into. Again, step into is this loop like arrow, right? You can also use F6 in your keyboard. All right, so let's do this. Wait a minute, why did it do it? It should come and land in here. B is greater than A. It should actually, wait a minute, it is actually putting it into the same line. Hang on, let me put a breakpoint here in line number 40 and 38, and then let's see. It should evaluate this, and it will fail, and then it will come in here. Let's go and try again. Okay. No.
So
Why
Vic,
not? Yeah.
you have missed else if flower braces, I think.
No, I haven't. You see,
After else if B greater than A, then there is no flower braces.
here.
No, for else if.
Yeah, for else if. No, wait a minute. Let me see. Let me see.
Yeah, correct.
I did put it.
Yes.
Otherwise, it will not even work. But this should be evaluated. This should be evaluated. Why it is not evaluating it? B is greater than A. B is not greater than C. So it should come in here. I'm just wondering whether it is Eclipse itself is actually breaking. Eclipse itself is just taking this as one single line and evaluating it. But I remember.
But both are false, right? B greater than A and B greater than C.
No, B is greater than A, right? B is 30, A is 25. So this is true.
Yeah, one is true, one is false.
Yeah, one is true, one is false. But I'm just saying that the execution line should come at this level. When I did put it like this, in 3 different lines.
Okay, the first one is pass, so you are expecting the line number 4.
I was expecting to evaluate this separately. It's not doing it. It should do it because I somehow remember it seeing it like that. Anyway, you understand at least that. Okay, so the point is this: if both the conditions are true, only then you basically go and you perform the operation. In this case, this section was a failure, this section was a failure, and then you land in here. All right, let's go and do the same thing with the OR operator. I will say, instead of and, I will just say OR. This logic will not really make sense, but I'm just saying if B is greater than A is greater than B, or A is greater than C, then I want to do this. It doesn't make sense, but I'm just showing you anyways. Okay, let's go and restart this program again. And here. Okay. In AND it doesn't do it. In AND it's not doing it, but in OR it's doing it. Look. So it executed the AND section. It executed the. Wait a minute. I'm actually thinking it wrong. If the first section is true, then we should check the second section. Yeah. 1 minute. Okay, so you see this was evaluated, and then this was evaluated. It didn't go through any of it. I mean, this was false, this was a false, right? And then obviously it didn't print this. Again, this was false, this will be true. Okay, so here you see this will be true. Wait a minute, what is happening? It is not happening the right way. I'm thinking something is wrong. Wait a minute, something is wrong. Something is wrong for sure. It is behaving not the right way. Wait a minute. Let's just see one more time. Something is not right. What is not right? If A is greater than B, this will be a false for me. This will be also a false for me. So as per the truth table, if this condition is a false and this condition is a false, obviously this block will not be executed. Now in this condition, in this section, this is a true. Because this is a true, it should not even check this, and it should execute this. That is what I'm trying to see. It should say B is greatest. But why it is not? 35 is greatest. Why it is happening like that? What am I doing wrong here? What am I doing wrong here? Anybody can give me any suggestion? What's happening here? This is not how it should do. If A is greater than B and A greater than C, then this will not work for sure, but this should work.
But when you have three numbers,
Yeah, would
shouldn't
you mind to maybe take off that B is greater than A? Maybe because you compared already on top. Maybe you can try on that. You're
No, I compared A greater than B.
Yeah, I saw in like if you're comparing three numbers. So if you are already done with two, so you can do like B is greater than C, except B is greater than A.
No, look, it's very simple to understand. If this part is a false, then this guy will be checked to see whether it is a true or not. But if it is true, that's why it says or. If it's a true, then this should execute. I mean, look at the truth table that I have. I don't know whether I have.
Do you need to put a breakpoint, like a break in the code?
No. That comes with switch. Wait a minute. I'll show you a truth table. If Java, if else, truth table. Yeah.
I think someone is waiting. Liva or someone, she got disconnected. She just want to get back again.
I don't see. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, I see. Sorry, I messed up.
Thanks.
Truth table. Java truth table. Let me go to images. Let me see. Okay, here, right? Okay, so I have condition number. So for the B section, the B is greater than A, right? B is greater than A, and B is greater than C. B is greater than C is false. So the answer is going to be true. And I should get inside the block. This is, again, here you see, A or B, you have one condition true and one condition false. The result is true. I should get inside the block. If both the conditions are false, you see F and F, both the conditions are false for an OR, I will get the false. But why it is happening the other way around is what I'm understanding.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
Why do you have a semicolon and then on the next line the closing bracket?
What do you mean? How do you mean?
If you look at the first system out,
yeah,
So you have at the end of the system outline, you have a semicolon.
Correct.
Which means the end of that. But then
yeah,
the first character in the next line is a closing bracket. Is that correct?
You mean this one or this one?
No, that one before the last character in the line.
This is this is the if block covering up. This is the if block.
Okay, so that's fine. All right.
There is a problem with the syntax, but I'm just losing on this guy that why it is not happening at b is greater than a. If this is a true, this should print.
Could it be because of line 29 and 30? We are changing it there.
Ah, you're so right. I'm totally missed it. I'm so sorry. This is why everything is going haywire. Exactly. That's what is happening. All right. Let's look at the program now. Now it makes sense. You see? It was killing me. I said, what the hell is happening? All right, good. Let's go back and see it. All right. So I totally missed those two lines, and right? Let's look at it again. So I did 35 is greatest. We know why it is. Let me put a breakpoint and run this. We check line number 34. A is greater than B. No, it's not. A is greater than C. No, it's not. I go and move into the next line. Else if B is greater than A, yes, it is. B is greater than C, it's not. I go and come out of it, right? Actually, if I even now, if I just try it out, this logic I was saying you, right? I wanted to show you this because it's a good way how it's a good way to see how the debugging really helps. It checks A and B. A is greater than B. No, it's not. So it comes in here. B is greater than A. Yes, it is. It checks this. You saw that? This is what I was talking about. Right? B is greater than A. B is not greater than C. So it will not do anything there. Right? And then it prints this. It makes sense. Right? Now, if I just change this with or, and or again. Yeah. Now see, I go and say line 34, A greater than B. It's not. No problem. Can I see the next one? You see the difference. It will check this. Even if it's false, even if this is false, in case of the earlier situation you saw, it landed directly to the next condition check. But in this case, it was not the case. This is a false. No problem at all. It is checking this guy. Is it false? It is false. So obviously it will not execute. It'll go to the next line. Here, is it false? No, it's not. It's true. So let's go and check the other guy as well. So, okay, here it is saying it is true. If it is true, it will not check the other guy again. The situation is that if any one is true, it will not go and check the other again. See, it will not check the other guy again. It print it just like that. Right? But because this guy was false, so it checked for this guy, whether it is true or not. Everybody got the difference between and or, how things are moving on? Yes, no?
I have a question. So
Yeah.
if you look at line 40 and 42, so that block there, the or basically checks that we don't care if either one of them is true, then we can print.
Yeah, it is just caring if either one of them is true. If it is true, I will print it.
So one of them can be false, one can be true. We'll print
Exactly.
either way. But
Yeah,
then the
yeah.
and is basically saying that both have to be true. Is that right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. Both have to be true to get inside the block. That's right. And this is why I wanted to break it down in 3 lines and show it to you, but I didn't really see this. I mean, I didn't notice this anyway. Perfect. So I think that clears it out. If not, just shout me. Is that all okay with everybody? Yes, no?
Yeah, all okay.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, good stuff. All right. Let's go and look at the next part of it here. All right, so I just spoke about assignment operators. Okay, it is a ternary operator. Ternary operator is basically a quick way to write a simple if-else statement. Okay, a simple if-else statement. Okay, meaning, how did I write it? Just look at it. You have to give the condition first here. Then you have to, if the condition is true, you get this value. If the condition is false, you get this value. That's it. It's a very simple if-else statement. Okay, in 1 line you can write it. This is how I have written it. You see, this is a condition: A is greater than B. Is it true? If it is true, I will get the value as 10. If it is not, I'll get the value as 6. That's it. But this is a syntax, always remember. All right. Your ternary operator always need to result into something. You cannot just write this on its own. Like, you cannot say A equals B colon, or sorry, question mark 10 colon 6. You cannot say it just on its own, because you have to understand that this values has to be returned into something. So it needs a variable, some kind of a variable to hold that returning value. So always keep that in mind. That's a ternary operator. Very simple stuff to understand. Let's move on to the next part. Array. Okay, I'll talk about array. Arrays are, so far, whatever we have seen so far here in the Eclipse, we are just creating one single variable to store one single data. That's totally okay. However, there is a requirement for you to go ahead and store multiple data inside one entity. So you need to understand that when you create a variable in Java, you're basically creating a memory location, depending on what is the variable type it is. You give the name to the variable. For example, number. Number is the name of the variable. The variable is an integer type, and the value of the variable is 10. So you're just creating a particular variable which has a location, dedicated location in the memory, and you're storing some value into it. That's one value. Okay. When I'm saying array, the idea is same. The idea is that you will have one single variable name called num or nums. But in this situation, you are saying that you are actually storing multiple sets of value. You're storing multiple sets of value depending on whatever the size you are actually prescribing when you are initiating the array. So you're saying all these values can be found under one single variable called nums. That's an array, right? These blocks of memory blocks which are storing these values, these are all adjacent blocks of memory. Okay. So how do I write a array? It's very simple actually. New Java class, say arrays or test array, and with a main method, and I say int nums equals. Okay, there are 3 ways actually initialize the array. Number one is this: int nums new int square bracket and say 5. Meaning what? Meaning you're creating a array of 5 adjacent integer blocks that can hold integer value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you're creating an empty array. I want to show you what exactly happens here. Sys out, put a breakpoint line number 10. Let's go and execute this, debug this. You can debug it, right click on it, debug as Java application. When you do that, it will stop in line number 10. And when you stop, you can hover on top of your variable to see what's happening with that variable. Right now I see the variable has 5 different memory location. Okay, every memory location is having a default value of 0. Why? Because I told you earlier that if you are not giving a value to the variable, Java will allocate 0 by its default value. That's what it is doing, right? And it's storing 5 different values, 5 different zeros under one single entity, right? And all these arrays can be accessed using something called as index. Index. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 5 indexes for an array of size 5. So you can understand the last index will be always size minus 1, right? Size is 5. So the fourth index is nothing but, the last index is nothing but index number 4, which is size number 1, size minus 1. Good. So that's an array. That's one way of doing it. How to put the value inside an array? Multiple ways. Number one is nums. With the help of indexes, you can say 0. The 0th index, you are putting the value as 12. Nums 1, you can put the value as 3. Nums 10, put the value as 20. Restart. Okay. What is happening? Number 0, number 1, it was having no problem, but right at number 10, I mean index number 10, I'm getting a problem. It is quite understandable why, because you have maximum index 4. You cannot access index number 10. That's quite understandable, which is why you will be getting this error or exception called as array index out of bound exception. When you're trying to access an index which is out of the entire list, then you will get this error message, array index out of bound exception. Very simple. Good. So remove this. That's how you can create an array and you can supply the value. That's number one. But I don't like this approach. I do another approach. I say int of array. Sorry, I'll do string of array. String array names. And you can see I can directly pass on the value, and at the same time I can initialize the array, meaning just put a flower brace and say names. Say Tamina, say Shohef, say Prabhu, say Peter, right? And that's how I created an array, right? Once I create an array, how can I access the value out of an array? Again, very simple. I can access the value of an array using the index, meaning names. You want to say maybe third index, right? You know what will be the result? It'll be Peter, because that's my third index, 0, 1, 2, 3, correct? So that's how you can access the array, and that's how you can submit the value to the array. Is this understandable by everybody? A very simple explanation about array. Array is having one more property that I want to talk about. Sysout. The property is called as names dot length. If you do it, it'll print out the value of the size of the array, which was 4. Is this making sense to everyone? Is it clear to everyone?
Just a very quick question on line 7.
Yes, go on.
So you set new int to 5. If you wanted to add more than just the 5 names, for instance,
yeah,
could you just change that value to equal whatever you wanted if you just wanted to keep on?
You can do it to anything you want, no problem at all. The thing is, you cannot increase the size of the array at runtime. At runtime, you cannot say that I want to improve my size from 5 to 50. I cannot do that. That's the limitation with array, and that limitation is kind of taken care using array list in Java, which can grow dynamically, and we will cover that later on.
Understood. Thank you.
Good. All right. Everybody else is saying it's okay. That's good. Let's move on to the next part of it. Array rules. I just spoke about that, so we are good with that. Loops. Loops is the one that we want to cover up, and I think I can let you guys go today because we are supposed to cover till loops and classes and objects. Let's start from week number 2. Here I have spoken more about classes and objects. So because this is a good description, I don't want to really start at the end of the class and make you guys confused. Classes and objects are very, it needs a fresh mind. So next week will be the right time to talk about it. So we'll talk about loops, obviously, for now. There are 4 different type of loops that we are ideally understanding here. For loop, while loop, do while loop, for each loop. What is a for loop? For loop is nothing but it is having a syntax that you have to remember. So for loops are the looping situation that you will be using when you have a range to work with. You know exactly that how many times you ideally want to iterate. By the way, why do I want to use a loop? I want to use a loop because of only one reason, that is, I want to perform an operation multiple times. That's why I will use a loop. If I want to print out my name 5 times, I can just do that using a sysout, copying and pasting it for 5 times. But that will be an overkill. You don't want to do it. You just want to use a loop and add the statement that you want to iterate multiple times. That's why the loop is there. Now we have for loop, and in the for loop, if you have a dedicated range that you know that where to start the execution from and where to end, that's where you go and use a for loop. Make sense? Meaning that in this situation of the for loop, you can see I have written int nums, that's a array of numbers. I have given you the property already, nums.length. Nums.length is going to tell me that the size of the property or size of the array is 5. Okay, now look at the loop that I'm writing. I'm saying I'm starting. Okay, so the loop has few components. Number 1 is a variable which is defined right there within a loop. You can say this variable is nothing but it's working as a counter which will help me to understand that from where do I have to start and where do I have to go and how can I go there, from where to start. So it gives me where to start, where to start, where to start, okay, and where to go, where to go, how to go. Why am I saying this? Because you see, I'm saying I equals 0, that's my where to start. All right, I'm declaring the variable right there in the for loop. I want to know where to go. How do I know that? I'm saying I'm comparing with the counter. I'm saying there is this particular section over here. It's saying I less than nums dot length. So I am comparing with the counter. The counter is starting from 0, obviously. Nums dot length is the range, is the end where I have to go. But here I'm saying I less than nums. There's a reason why I'm saying I less than nums. Because this counter over here is actually working as my index. My index starts from 0, if you remember that. In this situation, my index should start from 0 and it should end in 4. Correct? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which will cover 5 indexes. Meaning, when I say nums.length, less than nums.length, I'm covering till 4. That's why I'm saying I less than nums.length. And I plus plus, meaning I want to go to 4, but 1 at a time. Meaning I want to go to 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4. So 1 at a time. Basically, it means plus 1 at a time, 0 to 4. Correct? That's how you do it. Okay, so let's go and simply run this over here. Add this names. Let's go and use a for loop. For loop. Actually, I'll do the for and for each loop together so that you understand the difference. Int I equals 0. I less than, right? I less than names dot length. Okay. One other thing I didn't cover today, I'll cover it today. That is pre and post fix operator. So you're saying this statement here, I plus plus. It means you're basically I plus plus means nothing but I equals to I plus 1. That's all it is doing. Meaning you're adding 0 to 1 and 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, something like that. Right? So you're just adding 1 by 1 by 1. So I plus plus means adding 1 to itself. That's it. So that's my simple for loop. And I say sys out, and I say names, and I say I, because I is a variable that will simply be replaced. Like here, you see, I have hard-coded my index, right? I've hard-coded my index. I don't want to do that. I want to simply remove this index number with the I. By doing this, when I loop around, I will be simply replacing this I with the number, and I get the index. That's the idea. Simple idea. And I go and run this now, and I get all the names. As simple as that. Right? I want to do the break. I want to put a breakpoint here, and I want to actually show you how this is working. Look at it. I'm here now. Look at the value of I at this point. I is 0. Good. Let's go and print this out. I get the first value, right? I printed the first value. Okay, now you see, what's the value of I? What is the value of, wait a minute, here, okay? What's the value of I now? It is 1. So on and so forth. It keeps on iterating around and keeps on giving me all the values till I get to the Peter. Did I get 2? Yeah, I have four of them. Right, that's fine. This was printed from this line. Let me comment it out. Okay. Make sense? So that's a for loop. Let's go and understand the for each loop. In for each loop is something that works with a collection. Collection meaning an array or array list or hash map. So for each loop, how does it work? It's simple again. You see, you know from the array list or from the array that this array is a string array. It's a string array. So if it's a string array, all the elements within the array is a string. So for each loop is a little bit different than how for loops works. In the for each loop, you don't have to bother about initialization of a variable or the length or how to go, where to go, nothing at all. Okay. In for each loop, all you need to know is what is the type of the collection. The collection type is string. So if it's a string, then you just say that we are trying to handle a string, and the name of the string variable, I'll give it as name, colon names, just that. So I'm saying that's my array, and the idea is let's put a breakpoint here, and let's trigger this. Okay. So what's happening here? You are passing the whole 4 names to the array. Okay. The for each loop is designed in a way that it will automatically pick up the index information on its own. The first index is stamina, right? So it will just simply go ahead and pick up the name one by one and push it to the variable name. So for the first instance, it will get Tamina, and then Shoaib, and then Prabhu, and then Peter, right? It automatically does that shift. And that's why if you go and print them out, you see, you're printing all of them one by one. That's what it is. So in a for each loop, you have to remember that you are just be bothered about what is the type of the array or the collection you're dealing with. That's all. So that's that. Let's go and understand the while loop. What is a while loop? While loop is a situation that works with a condition. It just works with a condition, nothing more than that. Meaning, from this loop, I can see that there is a condition I'm dealing with. I less than nums.len. That's a condition, right? So I can do something like this. I can say int I. I'm just putting the I over here again. I mean, in line number 24, I equals 0. By the way, understand this. This I and this I are 2 different guys. All right, are 2 different guys. Why 2 different guys? Because this I is a part of the for loop, and this I is a part of the whole program. So they're 2 different guys. All right. Now I have this I, and then I say while I less than nums.length. As long as I is less than nums.length, as long as this condition is true, you want to loop around the while loop. That's the whole situation. So I say nums.length. Sorry, names I. Simple. Let's go and run this and see what happens, okay? Do you see that? Do you see that I'm stuck in an infinite loop? I'm stuck in an infinite loop. Why? Because I'm not making an effort within the while loop to actually move myself from Tamina to the next person. I'm not. I'm saying as long as I information is less than nums.length, keep on printing. It's just keeping on printing. That's it. I have to stop it with this red button, right? How do I make sure that I can access other elements? I can make sure I can access other elements if I just simply say I plus plus, meaning increment the value of I, so that I can actually make a move from 0 to 4, right? 0 index to the 4th index. So let's run this again. And I got them again here. Simple as that. That's a while loop. And lastly, we have a do while loop. What is a do while loop? Actually, I want to prove it with something else. All right, let me prove the while loop with a different situation again. I'll say, okay, this time I'll not be bothered about integer. All right, I'll be bothered about something else. Boolean status equals false or true. I'm creating a Boolean variable called status and putting it true. So I'm saying as long as while is having the value of status as true. By the way, you can give the status so you're trying to check a condition, right? So you can give it like this. You can say status double equals true. You can say that, or you can just say directly as status. Even that means that it's true. If it's a Boolean variable, you can just give the name of the variable and it will be considered as a true value. You can say exclamation status. It means not status, meaning false, right? So I'm saying while status, while it is true, I want to print out. Okay? So obviously I need a counter. I cannot accept that. I equals 0. I need a counter because I have to somehow say that I am accessing this, right? And if I just go ahead and work with it right now, I'm stuck in a infinite loop again, because you know why? I'm not incrementing the value of I. Let's go and do it. Let's go and do that. Let's go and say I plus plus. Okay, I did that. And then say run. You see what happened? You see that I plus plus, it did pick up Tamina, Shoaib, Prabhu, Peter. It did pick up them. But finally it gives me an out of bound exception saying index 4 out of bound length to length 4 for length 4, meaning my maximum index is 3, but still somehow I have hit index number 4. Why is that? Can someone tell me why is that? Why did I hit index number 4?
Because it keeps increasing. It doesn't have a condition when to stop.
Perfect. Very good.
Increasing.
Very well said. Exactly. I have to give a condition where I have to stop. So I can do this. I can say, yeah, it's increasing. That's fine. But as soon as it hits, if I is greater than, if I is equals to, names dot length, then I want to make the status equals false. Do you see that? I'm putting this if condition in one line. When you put it in a one line, you don't need to really put a flower braces. You don't need that. And I'm saying if I names.length. If I value is equals to names.length, then make the status equals to false. So if that's the case, then I should be good, right? Now, with the do while loop, the thing is this: do and while, and here I have status. Okay, now see this. The status variable, I have described it here. I have initialized it here, line number 30. Now in line number 35, I am making the status false, which is why the while loop over here broke. You understand that, right? In the do while loop, what am I saying? I'm saying while status means while status is true, you can loop around. But this condition is not true here in this line number 41, because I have already made status equals to false in line number 35. So ideally it should not run even one single time, but it will do it. Why it will do it? If I just say nums.length of I, and I just make this I equals 0 again, for example, right? If I do that, what will happen? What will happen is that your condition will be executed at least once. So it will first execute the condition. It will first execute whatever is here in the within the flower brace, and then it will check the condition whether it is matching or not. So obviously it will be failing because status is false. So let's run this. You get just Tamina, nothing else. Meaning your do while loop runs at least once, no matter what the condition is. That's the difference between all these 4 loops. Is that making sense to everybody? Yes or no?
Yeah, we are okay. So how do we get all the syntaxes? Is there any help from the Eclipse?
No, there is no help from the Eclipse. It's that's why the sessions are there. I mean, that's why I'm giving you the video sessions already. So you get to watch the video and then you practice on your screen. That's how you will remember it.
Oh yeah.
There is no help from the Eclipse. No.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's really great, guys. I think I have covered everything that was supposed to be covered here. I wanted to talk about one more thing, pre and postfix operator, but I will not do that because I'm pretty sure every one of you guys are exhausted, and when I'm exhausted. So I'll let you guys go today, and I will enable you week number 2 right now, so that you can start looking into it from tomorrow, and I will also be uploading the video as soon as I can. It takes some time for Zoom to give me the video and then upload it to the YouTube. I hope by evening I'll be able to do it. So you should look into it. So that was the class today. This is your first live class. What do you think? Am I going too technical, too fast, or are you able to understand me? How are things?
Hope if it is a Java developer course, maybe you'll go in depth too much of this subject, right?
Yeah.
But
no, I mean, do you want me to go even more?
No. As a test engineer, maybe we will know a limited, which is understandable now. What you're saying, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But regarding my explanation for the videos, are you able to understand it?
I think the explanations are good.
Okay.
Perhaps the only thing would be, I don't know if everyone else agrees, but maybe if we could have a look at the assignments, not every single one, but perhaps the more challenging ones for future sessions.
You mean the assignments?
Yeah, so like if we could,
So
for example,
yeah, assignments will keep on growing more challenging.
Yeah.
As in when you get started with it, but at the initial days, I have tried to keep it simple.
Okay.
But there are different kind of people comes in the batch. So for some people, even these assignments are challenging. So I have to cater to everybody,
Fair enough.
So yeah. All right. Perfect. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining the class. And let's come back next week. I'll enable week number 2, class and objects, very important. Please spend more time into it, and let's come back and work it out from next week. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great week ahead.
All right,
And
thank you.
please start,
Thank you so much. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.